Alright, maybe winnable if he throws. All he has to do is start with the Gorm Root Stinger and he wins, but yep, started with Anomalous. Big mistake. Might still win, but it's definitely gonna give me a chance that he started with the wrong pet. Alright, so what I want to do is attack him once. Probably Cyclone first, and then Temporal Anomaly. If he swaps to his Gorm Brute Stinger right now, he might still be able to win this. But he might just stay in on Anomalous. Ah, dang it. Okay. So I'm going to bring the Jade Mist Dancer. He's going to go for a Great Sting, and then probably an Enrage. Get my Clone Dance rolling. I think my Infinite Hatchling dies on the back line to AoE. Okay. Infinite Hatchling's not dead. He's going to do like 1300 damage with Puncture Wound, so I'm going to sacrifice my Hatchling to eat that. And then change his weather right away. I'm on a timer, and he ran away. What? Okay, I mean, I was probably going to win because of that swap, but this team should probably not be beating that team. Let's see here. So we have Anomalous. Gorm Root Stinger, Indigo. First of all, I think he should be running the HP, but also he should be starting with the Gorm Root Stinger. There's no way he loses if he does that. Um, so I see Anomalous and Indigo all the time. And then the third pet is a wild card a lot of the time, so maybe I'll try fighting it with Anomalous and Tinytron. I haven't tried this version of countering him. Curious to see how it would go. Let's queue it in case we get a rematch. Oh, and I got a fun team. Okay. Well, feel kind of bad playing this team into him. Two elementals. Oh well. I'll play it out. This isn't like a team that I would normally just queue for fun. I just wanted to try it out versus to try to counter that meta team. Alright, so I'm running Void Nova to fight other Anomalises so that I can out AoE them and then take advantage of their weather with Poison Protocol. This Moonlight's going to buff my my attacks here. So the idea here is you just start with, first is like the team I'm trying to snipe is you start with Anomalous, you go for Void Nova, Poison Protocol, fill in with Ooze Touches, and then try to get a second Void Nova if possible. If not, no worries. Bring in Tinytron, go for another Poison Protocol, and then just get as much work done as you can with Flamethrower and Lightning Shield, whatever, works best. And then you clean up with the Cave Crab, because he's... he's going to take weak damage from those AoE dots. So he shouldn't be too low HP, since he's aquatic, and he's decently tanky. You can use Bubble or Dive when he's using Dodge on Indigo, and then you can use Surge so that he can't interrupt you. And your Surge hits pretty hard, since you're a power. But yeah, this kind of team's a little bit overkill versus an actual fun team. Okay. I don't even think I need the Cave Crab. These two are just gonna kind of face roll this team. I'm gonna let him have the win. I think it was pretty clear he had no chance. But obviously that was going to be a win, so I'll change the rematch. Okay. Let's pick a different team in case we get Anomalous. Metaslave again. So this is for the Living Sandling. Yeah, I think this team might beat him. And it's a little bit more... This is for the Anomalous Living Sandling team. I have plenty for Anomalous Gorm Root Stinger. But I'm also queuing into lots of Living Sandlings tonight, so I think I'll try this one. Because not all of the teams that are designed for fighting Gorm are going to be able to beat the Living Sandling, because a lot of them have AoE. Like that last team that I just queued would probably lose if I queue into a Living Sandling. Or like a triple Sandstorm team. Alright, so yeah, we got the guy again, he was just dodging. I have a good feeling about this matchup. But a lot of this game will hinge on the opener, as far as when do I use Wing Buffet and does he juke? Because if he jukes, it brings in the lowest health pet, and that will be Anomalous, unfortunately. So, we'll start with the Felt Immolate, see if he jukes. First of all, I don't know why he isn't just starting with the Root Stinger, because if he starts with the Root Stinger, I'm not going to be able to, That's a good start. Tried to juke. If he starts with the Root Stinger, I'm not going to be able to, yeah, get on out of here. Probably same guy. Damn, that was the fastest requeue of all time. So yeah, if he starts with the flyer, I can't interrupt him with Wing Buffet. I'm still going to use it because I'll take his flying racial. See if he learned his lesson. Nope, he's still starting with Anomalous. Alright, so he knows I'm going to go for Felt Immolate. Let's see what he does. I mean, first of all, he should just start with the flyer, because his flyer is faster than mine, so I'm not going to interrupt him with Wing Buffet. I'm just going to take his flying racial. But it should be fine, because what he can do is he can start with Great Sting. Go for... What? What are you doing? Did he think that I would play differently? Wow, this guy is the freest wins. Okay, so Gorm is what we're spam queuing into. So Clone Dance can beat him, but it's a little dicey. If he plays correctly, I think he can still win. Just because he has that one shot with Puncture Wound. So I think the better option is probably maybe Triple Sandstorm. Or maybe this team. I feel like I'm going to get him. Okay, let me play this team and see if I can, because I'm guessing it's the same guy that just keeps like spam queuing, and as soon as he knows he's gonna lose, he just runs away. Maybe he won't realize he's gonna lose as fast versus this team, and I can actually get a game out of him. Pretty toxic queues right now though, so I'm probably just gonna play for one more and then call it for the night. Alright. Now he's changed it to the MPD. Okay. That changes things a little bit. But I think I can still win, probably. I don't have a great answer for the decoy, because what he's going to do is he's going to save that MPD until my poison protocols are on cooldown. But yeah, so I'm going to take advantage of his toxic gas, and then my poison protocol is going to be doing lots of damage to that MPD. Unlikely that I get out a second Void Nova, but at this point I'm pretty far ahead. Not pretty far ahead, but I am winning, pretty sure. Okay, so he's going to bring that MPD. If he goes for decoy, I'm going to break it instantly with Poison Protocol. And if he doesn't, yeah, I think he's just kind of screwed. Because I have a lot of confidence in my Cave Crab versus Indigo. I'm debating going for Flamethrower first. I think I'll go for that Flamethrower. Oh my god, did you all hear that? It is some crazy thunder outside. Bye-bye, decoy. You won't be missed. And yeah, at this point, he should forfeit. I'm sure this is the same guy, probably. He's just trying to counter my other counter team with the MPD. What was I playing before? I'll go for Lightning Shield. Sure. I was playing, oh yeah, the Fell-Afflicted Skyfin. Which Fell-Afflicted Skyfin team was I playing? Oh yeah, the Spirit Crab, right? Yeah, that MPD might have beat me, but I don't know. My money's on Cave Crab winning versus Indigo, though, because he has Surge, and Surge is a big problem for him. Does have a Beast Racial, though. Let's see, so Surge does, let me 528. I need to hit him with 3 Surges. He's going to probably try to interrupt me here. It's a little bit of an important mind game. Does he go for the interrupt? I think he will. If he goes for the interrupt, he loses. Because now I have Bubble. Actually, I can just go for 2 Surges. I don't have to go for the Bubble. But I'm going to do it anyways, just to waste as much of his time as possible. Keep him out of my bracket. Nice, he's wasting even more of his own time. I love it. At least he didn't run away that time instantly. Yeah. Kind of boring teams to queue into. I can beat him, but my options are very limited because it's a speed battle versus a 349 speed pet. So you either need Dazzling Dance or some sort of pet with like a priority move. Like I really like this I want to try this Whiskuk pet versus him, but he kept running away. So I didn't get to try it out, but I like him a little better than the cave crab because he's tankier. He's got a little bit more speed. So if I lose a mind game at the end, like let's say that he had gone for pure damage instead of trying to interrupt me, because he didn't know I was running Surge. Um, what I could do is just press bubble, and I'll be safe, most likely, for 2 attacks, unless he like double crits me, right? And then I could just use my heal while he is while he's dodging. So I like this pet for trolling Indigo. It's kind of a pain to get because it took like a whole day of doing not dailies, but like there's like an event you have to do. Where is it? Dragonlands. You have to do it with this faction down here. You have to like do some soup event, and it's like on an hour and a half long timer. So quick attack isn't as good as Surge because like if I'm using quick attack and you're using Surge, you'll always go first. It's just a smaller speed buff, but it's enough versus Indigo to give him trouble. And I know that's why Discodoggy likes Surge. He likes the Spirit Crab versus that Indigo comp. Is because the Spirit Crab is nice and tanky. He has lots of health. So even though he isn't taking half damage the way these aquatics are, he still has plenty of health for fighting Indigo after Anomalous has been, you know, uh, butchering your whole team with AoE. He's still going to be nice and healthy. Probably, solid average 1400 health or so. 13, 1400, somewhere in there. And so you can use surges while he has the interrupt and the dodge, and then you can use snap once his interrupt's on cooldown. So yeah, there's a couple pets that can fight Indigo, but most of the time your best option is going to be like a high health surge user, because if you're running a pet that's actually faster than Indigo, like the Lost Quill, for example, you have so little health that you're going to come into the fight after Anomalous's AoE with like Anomalous, especially Anomalous plus the Thunderbolt or the Gorm Root Stinger's AoE. You're just going to come into the fight with one like attack of health remaining, if even that. I think the Lost Quill literally just dies in like one, like even super low roll from Indigo. And then, of course, the Rabbit is the other good one, but he takes strong damage from the Gorm Brute Stinger's AoE and from the Beast attacks. There's very few other pets that can outspeed Indigo outright that are even remotely viable in PvP. So your best option is just... You could maybe beat him with the Alpine Foxling, but his health is a little low. it can work, but you're better off just running lots of high health pets. That's why I had Spirit Crab and Tinytron is just for the health is nice. You don't waste any stats trying to outspeed him. You just accept, okay, Indigo's going to go first. But that's all I'm queuing into. I'm going to call it for now. If you have any fun ideas for how I can counter this team, specifically Indigo, Gormroot Stinger, and Anomalous, I can show off some of my counter teams again. So we have, actually, I have like 9 of them. But let's see. So we have, this one's Clone Dance, that one's Clone Dance. This is Triple Cyclone. So I think Primal Stormling, Power Shore Butterfly, and Pale Shell Crab can beat this team. But I didn't want to play this team because it's Triple Sandstorm. Also, I'm running into an HS Living Sandling, which gives my Pale Shell Crab a lot of trouble because it will be faster than him. Really annoying breed of the Living Sandling. Because typically this would the Pale Shell Crab would be faster than the conventional breeds, which are HH or HP, because they're 217. So here we have the Fell-Afflicted Skyfin, a Surge Pet, and an Alpine Foxling. So I think I played this in the last video, and it did really good versus the Bone Serpent variant. I think it should do fine versus this team. I don't think these 2 losses were versus this team. I think it was, I was spam queuing into this, and as soon as I try to counter it, he swaps over to Triple Sandstorm, like Idols. And this team has a glaring weakness to humanoids with Sandstorm, or Sandstorm in general, because I have no Weather Changer, and I have multi-hit, dot. Not much I can do about even just 1 Sandstorm pet, much less like 3 Karajis, right? Got Triple Sandstorm again. This is probably the best team. That's Triple Sandstorm versus it. But that's it's going to leave the win in the hands of RNG because of the constant 10% mischance. Got Clone Dance team again. This is one way you can outspeed Indigo, but it's a little bit dicey because if he plays correctly, then he'll start with his Gormroot Stinger, he'll AoE you, then he'll swap to Anomalous, he'll get his Weather and his AoE out, most likely. And then he'll a lot of the time he can kill your Infinite Hatchling with just raw AoE. And then when you try to go for your Rain Dance and your Acid Rain, I'm just going to get one-shot by the Puncture Wound. On my Jade Mist Dancer before I can even get Acid Rain out, and then my last pet probably won't be able to clean up at that point, depending on what it is. Maybe if it's like a really good pick, like I'm thinking maybe if I played instead of the Snapdragon, like let me go ahead and I don't like the Snapdragon. He's too low HP. And yeah, he looks like, oh, he'd probably be really good. He can do strong damage versus Indigo. It's not really about doing strong damage. It's about not being outsped and just bullied by the interrupts and the dodges. That's more important. And then being able to, on top of being able to survive the AoE onslaught. So I think what I will do is try this Whiskuk. This Whiskuk pet as the 3rd here. That way I don't depend on Temporal Anomaly, so I can be a little bit more free to use Temporal Anomaly earlier and not have to worry about, okay, when is the last possible turn that I can get away with pressing it, because that really scripts the fight. If it frees me up if I have a priority move here. I think this is a better pick because he's nice and tanky. He's got almost 1700 health. Yeah, so Infinite Hatchling Jade Mist Dancer with like a high health aquatic, or maybe a high health pet in general that has surge, like Spirit Crab, for example, can beat him, but it's a tough one. And then yeah, we tried out Anomalous, Tinytron. If he had the Gorm Root Stinger, I'm pretty sure this team would have done just fine. Didn't get to try it out versus that particular team because he swapped the MPD, but I think it would have played out about the same way, if not a little better. Then this is another Clone Dance team. What do I think? Shore Butterfly, so I would... Wait, what? Yeah. Cyclone. So you would probably swap out Anomalous, go for Cyclone, bring the Jade Mist Dancer. Do I like the Cave Crab better here, or do I want to try Whiskuk? I like the Cave Crab because he hits hard, but that last match was a little bit dicier than I wish it was. Like at the end of the day, or at the end of the game, if he went for smash instead of this kick, if he went for smash there and high rolled, I went for surge because I figured he would go for the interrupt. So why bother going for bubble? If he just went for damage, he could have double high rolled and maybe killed me, which I don't think would happen if I just had a little bit more health. So I could either run the HH of the Cave Crab, or maybe Whiskuk. I'm going to think about it. He's a little bit of a meme pet. Or the other one that could be fun is there's another Surge pet. I finally got the breed I wanted of. Sea Calf. I wanted the power balance. So this guy's a little bit... He's actually lower health than the Cave Crab. Hmm. Yeah, I guess Whiska could be good. Yeah, it would be better. Maybe the HP. Or the HB. So the HB would be 1546. Just about the same health as the Power Cave Crab. It kind of throws things off that he had the MPD because his AoE doesn't do weak damage to my aquatic. So that's why I had a little bit less health on my cleanup pet than I would most likely if he had had the Gorm Brute Stinger variant. But yeah, this combo, Anomalous and Indigo, could carry almost anything. So you can pair it with Living Sandling, MPD, Bone Serpent, Gorm Brute Stinger, and probably win like at least 90% of your games, even if you don't play very well. But the right way to play it, in my opinion, is you start with Gorm Root Stinger. Generally speaking, you'll go for Great Sting, and then you'll swap to Anomalous, go for Toxic Fumes, Poison Protocol, just spam your basic attack until Anomalous dies, to give you a free swap back to the Gorm Root Stinger, who probably has Great Sting back. And then you go for Great Sting, Enrage, one-shot somebody with Puncture Wound, and you clean up with Indigo, because that double Great Sting plus Poison Protocol buffed by Toxic Fumes is just ridiculous damage. And it's a combination of the fact that Anomalous's attack power is way higher than it should be. They should nerf it for the health of the game. He would still be a solid S tier pet if his attack power was only like 305. But 362 is just insane. It's that plus Toxic Fumes is just an imbalanced ability. They should rework it because, first of all, it's bugged. So elementals are supposed to be immune to toxic gas, but like if, for example, I'm playing an elemental and he has the Toxic Fumes weather, and he uses Puncture Wound on me, for some reason, Toxic Fumes counts me as poisoned, which it shouldn't. I should not be considered poisoned. Like if Blizzard is the weather, my elemental's not considered chilled. Why is my elemental considered chilled or considered poisoned if toxic fumes is the weather? Doesn't make any sense. So there's a bug versus elementals, and then there's another bug with Huge Fang and Vicious Fang where instead of ramping up like they're supposed to in the tooltip, they do max damage. That's a pretty well-known bug that just hasn't ever gotten fixed. And then on top of that, like the whole design of like, oh, uh, dots last an extra round if used during toxic fumes is just impossible to balance because some dots are 1 round, some dots are 2 rounds, some dots are 6 rounds, some dots are like Death and Decay is a 9 round dot. Who cares if it turns into 10 rounds? Like buffing Death and Decay from 9 rounds to 10 is not a big deal. It's not going to make or break any game. You know, even buffing an ability like Poison Fang by a round isn't it doesn't matter if it's a 5 round or a 6 round dot. That's not a big deal. But abilities like Great Sting are first of all balanced around the notion that they hit all 3 of the enemy pets. And they only last for 2 rounds. And so when you take it from 2 rounds to 3 rounds, that's not just like a little 10% damage buff. That's a 50% damage buff on an already overpowered ability. I mean, Great Sting and Poison Protocol, especially Poison Protocol. Like, Poison Protocol is balanced around the notion that it only lasts for 2 rounds. So when you buff it by 1 turn, 50% damage buff is pretty insane. And it breaks decoy, and if they have dodge up, it still hits them through it, and it has self like it does extra damage versus beasts, or it does beast damage up front, which means that even if they have a critter, they still take strong damage from it. You know, it's yeah, Poison Protocols is imbalanced. The solution is rework Toxic Fumes and just make it buff dot damage by like a flat 10% or even maybe 25%. I think 25% is too much. But I would rather it buff the damage by 25% than the current iteration because if you don't have a way to change the weather to specifically counter this combo, it just completely is so imbalanced. Um, I guess the upfront damage is maybe a little bit crazy, but that's not what makes Toxic Fumes insane. Um, I think maybe leave the damage where it is and then change it to a 4 round cooldown. Seems fair. Or maybe nerf the damage a little bit, but they need to fix all the bugs and then in my opinion they should change the effect from buffing dots by 1 round to like just buffing dot damage by say 10%. I think that would be way easier to balance because when paired with short duration dots like Great Sting and Poison Protocol, it's very very overtuned. Kind of feel like kind of feel like Puncture Wound should be a 4 round cooldown, and Enrage should probably have a cooldown too. Or I don't know. I think Enrage is just kind of a dumb ability. I think they should nerf it the way they nerfed Howl. Make it increase the damage of your next attack, not all of your abilities. Because right now it basically works like old school Howl. But anyways, the main problem, the two main culprits I think are Anomalous's high attack power. It's too much. 362 is dumb because his moveset's really strong. And even if they tried to like Terror Claw treatment him, like swap say, I don't know, uh, Void Nova with Contagion Strike or something, like he could still run Toxic Fumes Poison Protocol, and that's still very strong. That wouldn't really change much with his high attack power. I mean, a lot of people already run Toxic Fumes. I think, generally speaking, this is the better build, is Toxic Fumes Poison Protocol. The only reason I would run Void Nova is if I'm trying to fight other Anomalies and just out AoE them. But that works too. I mean, yeah, his attack power is too high, and then I think Toxic Fumes is badly designed. Um, there's really only like one pet that has it. But if there were more pets that had, like, say, toxic fumes and then abilities like Great Sting or Poison Protocol, they would be all over the beta. Especially if they ever nerf Sandstorm damage back to where it should be. Then yeah, this AoE strategy is like almost impossible to beat without like a specific counter team. I think realistically, like either a team like this or a team like this is probably your best bet for having like a strong team that can consistently beat this team. If you're queuing into it a lot, I'd recommend probably these 3 Sandstorm pets to make him quit queuing, or at least to make him play something else. But yeah, Sandstorm's its own bag of worms, as you all know. I think that's all I got for now. Can go take a break. I'll see y'all later. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Leave your thoughts in the comments. And I'll see y'all in the next one.